live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Probably asleep. Probably asleep. But how are you? Man. So this is today's Yomiuri Shimbun. The meeting happened. America, Russia, ceasefire agreement not achieved. Putin, additional sanctions avoided. Trump says it proceeded and so on, and they have the points. That was this, the important points or takes of the meeting. So yeah. Oh, hello from Sweden. Hello, thanks for coming. Yeah, I haven't actually read this newspaper yet. Yesterday, I was at the zoo with my husband. We went out in the evening and we were there until late at night. So hence everything got delayed. But just the B2 flyover, I imagine Trump saying it there recently back from Iran. I did see the footage, like when both landed, right after they met and were walking down the red carpet. They flew over. It was great. It's in a way, I guess it can be taken as like a welcoming ceremony type of thing, but simultaneously could be just threatening. But I don't know which way Trump intended that to be. There's a picture of this. What is interesting about this is that, so like it's all like this too, like America's pressure falls flat. It's not taken well by that paper. But yeah, a lot of coverage about this. Haven't read it, but I did check out the Japanese media's takes. So I'm gonna introduce what I heard in the TV shows. I mean, not really TV shows, maybe TV shows. I don't know. I checked YouTube, like the YouTube channels of TV stations such as Asahi and also Yomiuri, the same company as this, and so on. Let's look at your comments. Morning, good morning. I have some trouble reading the paper you are holding. Oh yeah. I mean, firstly, it's in Japanese and probably mirrored as well. I hope all goes well because we don't need nuke war. Yeah. Yes, the flyover with 4 F-35 and 1 B-2 and a bunch of F-22 fighters they walked through. A reminder that Russia is still Russia's air force is 30-year-old junk. It's like this war, with this war and the sanctions from the world, Russia has been having a difficult time, and they even have to depend on North Korea, and that itself shows how desperate they are, right now, because like they don't even have the capacity to fix their airplanes and so on too, so it's just one more squeeze, but unfortunately I heard that at the meeting, like we were hearing that on August 8th Trump would impose secondary tariffs, but it hasn't happened. And Putin, on the other hand, with this meeting, like he's like he needs to get arrested internationally, right? Like there's a warrant meant for him, and we need to catch him. So the first impression of me actually was that, oh, Putin is coming to Alaska, why not just arrest him? But then America is not signed in that framework, so I'm like, damn. But yeah, anyway, I was looking at some social media reactions, and mostly it's actually negative because Japan, as I said before, like Japan, uh, when it comes to matters or issues with Russia, Japan, and America are different. Like we have different backgrounds. So just keep that in mind. After the World War II, I mean, after we said that we are gonna surrender, Soviet Union uh, discarded the not peace treaty, neutrality pacts that we had, and came to attack us and slaughtered many, many Japanese people. Even took our soldiers, 600,000, to Siberia and enslaved them. And they also took our islands, northern territories, which they are still occupying illegally, and no peace treaty has been signed since then. And so Russia is Japan's enemy, you know. So that's why like we want Russia to stop the aggression. Russia's narrative is that like Putin's narrative is that Ukraine is like brother. I have to laugh. Like, Ukraine is brother, and that it should be unified and so forth. And then he goes on to lecture give you the history lesson and so on. But it's all of it is nonsense, because it's all like Putin clearly, like openly says that he wants to take all Ukraine. Like he was talking about all the historical backgrounds and so forth, and Ukrainian sides of like a NATO alliance was spreading, which he thought was threatening, and that's how he attacked Ukraine. It doesn't make sense, but still, that was his narrative. But today, we know that Putin said that Ukraine should belong to Russia, basically. So yeah, so we just know now, like from his from his words, that Putin just wants to take Ukraine, full of Ukraine, and the deals that Putin brought too. Like it's not even a deal. Like he wants to take the places that Russia hasn't taken, and also like he says like he can give up on the land, the area that it's actually where it's actually hard to take. So like it's not even a deal. But anyway, so for Putin, he got to avoid secondary tariffs. He got to meet Trump. And he said towards the end of the press conference, yeah, that was a press conference, right? He said like, oh, maybe next time let's meet in like in Moscow, right? Like let's meet in Moscow, and he said it in English. That's like so KGB. He knows how to approach. Like he said it in English, so that gives a good impression. He spoke like kind of in a cute way, like, oh, maybe next time in Moscow, right? And then Trump had to, like, he probably didn't want to make the atmosphere bad, and he was like, oh, maybe, right? That there's a possibility, and that's good enough, because Putin is someone, as I said, is that he needs to get arrested, but by that interaction there, he, he was able to create the scenario that he can goes back and forth between America and Moscow, and it's really, really bad. But anyway, yeah, that was my opinion, which is based on what I've learned. But let's see. I think this was Yomiuri program that I was watching on YouTube. It says there's this woman named Mieko Nakabayashi, and she has served a Republican congressman in the United States. She has worked in the U.S. for a long time. She still has a lot of connections, especially with the Republican Party. but she's a professor too, I think. So she gives a lot of commentary, like she gives commentary on TV often, and she was talking about how, like, what I just said, that Putin is somebody that could be arrested, but he was able to show that he can go back and forth between America and his country. And also, as for Trump is still, like, right now having a difficult time because of the Epstein file, and because of that, his MAGA support group is divided. And considering that, it's good that now Trump is, like, even though, like, there was no agreement and so on, which is actually good for us Japanese, by the way, because it could have gone way worse, but yeah, but it's good. But yeah, but still, like, it's good news for Trump. Like, he can show, that, oh, he's making things happen, and it's a good appeal to his supporters. So that's good. Also, Ms. Nakabayashi was talking about that Trump, like, she tries to support Trump as much as she can, but she's Japanese too, and also she has to be professional, in when she comments. So and she also said that maybe Trump just wants to, economically cooperate with Russia, and that she could tell that the will of Trump. And also in the show, they were talking about how, like, in the north, the bergs are melting, and there are rare earth and everything. The resources, are there, which means that a lot of business opportunities are there. So probably Trump wants to do, business with Russia. And also the world is watching, like Israel, Gaza, and so on. So she was pointing out the possibility of how the international power gets flipped and so on. That there's a dangerous entrance, that, like, it could be a dangerous entrance. And then she was also saying that strict economic sanctions and secondary tariffs and so on, or this is what Trump could do to make things better. She was talking about how, strict economic sanctions, secondary tariffs, and also if Trump says that he's going to support Ukraine militarily, then, like, such wars and actions could determine what's going to happen in the future, and that's the key. And but right now, though, we can see that Trump is, like, open to Putin right now. So that's what we are seeing. And even Japan, that both America too, that if we get drawn to economic activities, then Ukraine's tragedy will never end, and that our world order will be changed as well. So she was talking about stuff like that, and I agree, because I'm Japanese, and as I said last week, she was talking about how if Trump says, like, oh, we're gonna, for example, if Trump says that, oh, I want to support Ukraine, and even militarily, if he says stuff like that or acts like that, for example, to sell American weapons to Europe, and then Europe decides what to do, and they take the initiative, and they help Ukraine, and they do all the work that they have to do. And that would help America economically, and also I think it's great, because then Putin will finally, we can put Putin at the start line of our discussions, because right now Putin is in a good, like he has advantage, you know, like Ukraine gets attacked a lot, but Russia, like Ukraine is not attacking Russia equally across border. So yeah. There were a few more things that were discussed in the show that I was watching, but let me check your comments. Super chat will be prioritized, and I will just jump on super chat, just so you know. Good evening, love listening while I'm driving at work. Oh, cool, cool. What did you think of NHK coverage? Didn't they just cover the facts? I haven't really watched their stuff because they don't go in details. They just say like, oh, the meeting happened, the background is this, and they do this, and it's so practical. Or I don't know the word. The flyover was a bigger statement than Lavrov showing up in a CCCP t-shirt, a relic of a failed state. Oh yeah, somebody was mentioning something about how he was dressed. Good morning, good morning. Europe might hoard the weapons they really donate to Ukraine. We gotta push. Yeah. Yeah, one of it's in both shows that I saw, watched that, when Trump went into his plane, he was like so energetic and kind of, like we could see like how excited he was and so on. But then after he was done with the meeting and came back, he was like so tired. Like you could see that in his posture and so on, his expression. And that on his way back, of course, like he was talking to all the European leaders on the phone and so on. So he must have been like physically tired as well. But yeah, that contrast is something that what our media is talking about too. One of the things that they're talking about. Good morning to you from the state of South Dakota. Hello! It must be really, really early. Konnichiwa! Konnichiwa! That's so cute. Other things that they were talking about in the show, I heard commentary from other people. Oh yeah, so originally it was supposed to be like one-on-one, right? Trump versus Putin, but then it was changed to 3 versus 3, right? And Japanese people, of course, like we are concerned about how like Trump might actually listen to Putin, so we were kind of relieved that it became like 3 versus 3, but at the same time, for Putin too, if the meeting was only about land, oh, super chat, thank you so much. Thank you, Nick. Thank you always. So if it was like the topic was, if the topic was only about the land and ceasefire, then it would be difficult for Putin. But because he was able to have 2 more, to talk about economy, it was actually a plus for Russia. That was a point that I hear often in Japan. Another thing, there was this old man in the show. I don't know who he is, but he was talking about how he was very critical of Trump. And he was talking about how like it's obvious that Trump wants the Nobel Peace Prize, and then also as experts were pointing out, the Epstein file and so on are shaking his support grounds. So in order to get the Nobel Peace Prize and in order to avoid his scandals, he wants, at least the person who was saying like in order to for those things, like Trump wants to get this done and so on just to get the Nobel Peace Prize and blah blah blah. So then he was like, oh, what happens to the lives of the people that have been lost and so on. So yeah, just showing you many like different types of commentary. Another expert was in the show, Tsuruoka, Mr. Tsuruoka. He's also a professor, I think. And then usually in such negotiations, the leaders, what's the word? Like solidify, like like the front lines are like it gets steady, or like it's there, right? You don't change that front line. But then Russia wants to take the places that they haven't taken, and that's even far off from the ceasefire common sense of the world. And as for Russia, they want to create a picture that their ceasefire plan was rejected by Ukraine. So, like Russia says this nonsense, proposal. Russia's proposal is ridiculous, like they wants to take where they haven't taken yet. But they just impose this crazy proposal so that Ukraine can reject it. So then we can, as a third party, we see the picture and think that, oh, Ukraine is not accepting the proposal, ceasefire proposal from Russia. And that's the picture that Russia wants to create. And then, so then Ukraine becomes the bad guy who is not accepting the ceasefire plan by Russia. But the goal of Russia is to create a picture like that to make Ukraine look bad. So at least that's our like Japanese understanding, So the expert was pointing that out. And right now, though, like Trump is saying like, oh, Zelensky must, come to the negotiation and, agree for the ceasefire. And so that's, from our perspective, is leaning to Russia side. So we're concerned. But I bet that in America, it's the liberal take. So that's sad. But yeah. Oh, you're from South Dakota too. Cool. Can Japan make weapons to sell to other countries? Mitsubishi has defense contracts, but can they sell to Ukraine? We can't export like weapons that actually kill people. We can like weapons are not allowed, I think. ですよね。ウェポンは武器輸出。うん。できるの？殺傷能力。Probably not the kinds that kill people, but other kinds of weapons for defense are probably okay. でもウクライナに送れるの？直接は送れないってやつ。戦争だから。So like as Ukraine is in the war right now, we cannot send directly. So for example, we have to first sell to America or sell to European countries so that they can give them to Ukraine, because our rules are like that. Like, yeah. Let's see. Anything else? Oh yeah, I actually took a bunch of screenshots from that show. Oh yeah, and Zelensky and Trump are meeting in Washington, right? Next Monday? And Trump says that like it's up to Zelensky, and that's we don't look at things like that. So or how Japanese shows are structured, by the way, is that we show like, oh, this is what happened and that sort of things, and then since this is about America, our media was taking or citing some news from like CNN, Guardian, Fox News. What else did I see? NBC and so on. So, so that's of course that we hear their perspective, but yeah, there's this. This is another Yoko-san, and she is very Yoko Hirose. She's a professor too, who is very familiar with Russian issues, and she pointed out that Russia was able to end the meeting without compromising anything. So, yeah. And this was so interesting. This, I gotta show you this. So, the meeting, right? This is Russian side of the picture. This is from ANN, by the way. And then this is from White House, also reporting on NN, just so you know. And you know how it's different. They're just talking, casually talking, to be honest with you. But like this casual, yeah, having fun. And then this, like Trump is like, right, to Putin, it's really strict. So the contrast is very, very interesting. Yeah. A lot of, yeah. Anything else to say? Yeah. Oh, this is Nakabayashi, Ms. Nakabayashi. Like, oh, it's for Trump, it was more difficult than he thought, because Trump wants to do business. I wish that just I wish Putin would just quit this aggression. Do you want to hear my husband's take? Did I screenshot my husband's take? Oh, where? Oh, I translated his これツイッター上でできるやつ。So my husband made a post in Japanese, but I just pressed the translation button on X, and it says, my husband's take is this. In the past, Soviet Union called Eastern European countries brother nations. Those being called that founded a nuisance. The Prague? I don't know the pronunciation actually. Capital of Czechoslovakia. Prague Spring and the Hungarian uprising were both crushed by Soviet tanks. You can choose your friends, but you cannot choose your brothers. The idea of Russia as the big brother and others as little brothers simply means stay under Russia's control forever. Yep. And there's a news link. But that's what my husband posted. I completely agree. You cannot choose your brothers. And plus, if Putin wants to take Ukraine because of his historical beliefs, then Crimea has to be Crimean Peninsula. It has to, be given back to Crimean Tatar people. Crimean Tatars were kicked out from there by Soviet Union. There are some people still living there, I believe, but yeah, he doesn't make sense. What he says doesn't make sense. I saw a clip of the meeting. The press were acting like the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Japan primarily sends non-lethal weapons. Oh yeah, non-lethal weapons is the word. To Ukraine. Things like drones, helmets, protective gear, and humanitarian aid. Yes. Yes, yes. For Japanese, like under Kishida administration, before the current one, they already showed that, like right after the war broke out, our prime minister at the time, Kishida, said that Japan stands with Ukraine, and we started to send all this humanitarian aids and vests and so on too. But yeah, where was I getting with that? And the government at this time already focused on the after, post war of the Korean War, because Japan is good at reconstruction. So we are helping with reconstruction. Yep, 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 yep. Hey Yoko, hello, thanks for coming. Article 9 in Mutual Defense Treaty can be amended to better allow this, Yoko. How is Article 9 seen in modern Japan? Could it be repealed or changed? It really depends on which side of political diagram, political picture, like which side you are on. Conservative people want to revise our constitution. The liberals believe that because of Article 9, which says that we don't have forces, basically, because of that, like we can't attack first, and liberals believe that because of that article, our peace is maintained, which is false. As you know, we are protected by our self-defense forces, and because they're actively working to make Chinese and Russian airplanes and ships go away. Every day they're fighting, and it's not like combats, but like when our enemies come, they go scramble or something and just push them away, basically. And also, most importantly, we are under the nuclear umbrella of the US. Plus, there are a lot of US bases here, and those are our deterrents. And people with common sense know that, but liberals want to just worship the Constitution. So, yeah, they don't want to change it. So it's really like Shinzo Abe had a best shot to make it happen, but even he couldn't make it happen. So it's really unlikely that we can do things. But we have other rules that are binding us. So at least, like, the Constitution is interesting because you can change how you read it. So, yeah. Konnichiwa, Yoko-san. Konnichiwa. Speaking of Article 9, when are you going to watch Path of Labor 2? It's not on Netflix. We actually look it up. We have Netflix and Amazon Prime. We didn't see that. Is it on Hulu or something? Do we need to get another service? Let's see. Anything else to talk about? I freaking hated the seagulls. I haven't Nemo, like Finding Nemo. I haven't seen that. Yep, I keep thinking these things are Monday. That's true. Sorry, I'm so late. Let me see. Yep, all about that. I'm concerned about simultaneously, I'm concerned about South Korea because South Korea is the new president is showing who he is here and there, especially for Americans, because like he's so anti-America, the new South Korean president. He's so different from the previous conservative one. And yeah, so like the new one is like cutting down the exercises, like joint exercises of America and Korean military, and also like he believes that South Korea was called Japan had annexation of Korea, and he was talking about something about that too, that it's because of America for somehow. I don't know. Like he's so anti-America, anti-Japan, and he's actively working, and he's actually coming to Japan soon to meet Ishiba, but he's so anti-America and Japan, so I am very, very concerned. Ooh, Mesa Summer, thank you so much. Yoko no zekkin o haratta. Arigato. いつもありがとう。嬉しいな。嬉しいな。Yes. Finally, super chats. ありがとう。So, yes, everybody, this is, you need, your country might not be getting as much taxation as it used to. So, you gotta pay tax for me. Thank you so much for your support. South Korea got a new prime minister? No, president. They have president. But, yeah, the last one, Yoon, went to, what was that? Martial law? They had a martial law, so then he was out of the picture. Yeah. Where was I? Like our friend Gordon Chan wrote a good article for the Hills? What is it called? The Hill. Yeah. Let's see. Where is that? This one. The Hill. South Korea's anti-American president is coming to Washington. Just like Santa Claus, sort of. See, Gordon Chan. This is a new one. And he's so anti-America. So be aware. What he wants to do, though, is that he wants to kick out US bases from Korea, probably. Right? Like he's so pro North Korea and anti-Japan, and he's already bringing up historical issues again, which only benefits like North Korea and China, and it doesn't contribute to the peace of Japan and South Korea. So yeah. Did you see that Trump fly a B-2 bomber over Putin's head? Yes, we talked about it earlier, actually. Yeah, it's great. Power. But I really hope. Oh, I need to introduce one more thing. It's Melania. Melania is actually catching attention from Japanese people. Melania, First Lady Melania's letter was published by Fox News. Have you seen it? It has an important sentence, according to our expert. like she analyzed, means Higashino Atsuko. Higashino is another expert on Russia, or just in the region, and she says that this part of the letter by Melania, Mr. Putin, you can single-handedly restore their melodic laughter, talking about children's laughter. And then our expert is saying that Melania said single-handedly, you can single-handedly restore children's melodic laughter. So it's basically, it sounds like, it's like, oh, Putin, Mr. Putin, you're amazing, like you have this amazing power to end the war, But at the same time, it can, like, single-handedly, it kind of sounds like, oh, the responsibility is on you alone, So it's like compliment and pressure at the same time. So diplomatically speaking, I mean, it's a great diplomatic rhetoric. So it really helps. At least, like, Japanese perspective, it really helps that Melania wrote like this. For those who haven't seen this, I'm gonna read it to you. Melania wrote, "Dear President Putin, every child shares the same quiet dreams in their heart, whether born randomly into a nation's rustic countryside or a magnificent city center. Their dream of love, possibility, and safety from danger. As parents, it is our duty to nurture the next generation's hope. As leaders, the responsibility to sustain our children extends beyond the comfort of a few. Undeniably, we must strive to paint a dignity-filled world for all, so that every soul may wake to peace and so that the future itself is perfectly girded. A simple yet profound concept, Mr. Putin, as I am sure you agree, is that each generation's descendants begin their lives with a purity, an innocence which stands above geography, government, and ideology. Yet in today's world, some children are forced to carry a quiet laughter, untouched by the darkness around them, a silent defiance against the forces that can potentially claim their future. Mr. Putin, you can single-handedly restore their melodic laughter. In protecting the innocence of these children, you will do more than serve Russia alone. You serve humanity itself. Such a bold idea transcends all human division, and you, Mr. Putin, are fit to implement this vision with a stroke of the pen today. It is time." Wow. Wow. This is so amazing. Such a soft, motherly Melania talking like this to Putin is so powerful, in my opinion. Such an amazing partner that Trump has, Sorry, I was late. Oh no, I was late. Yeah. Why couldn't South Korea elect Santa Claus or president instead? he would probably be a better leader. Yeah. I mean, I really liked the former President Yoon. Yoon was so open to Japan. It's hard for South Koreans to be like that, Like, it's their culture, basically, too, to hang on to the past, like past tragedies and so on, Like, it's such a unique cultural aspect of South Korea that it's like beautified. The past is beautified, the tragedies and women screaming like, help, please, kind of thing. It's like somehow like the tragedies are admired in South Korea. Like, it's not even about historical opinions, They do claim that, but I think that they are rather, I don't know, like just like liberals in the US, you know, like they like the BLM movement and so on, like they have, like of course the history is there, but like they are exaggerating and they have this victimhood, you know. So like BLM is so much like KLM, Korean Lives Matter kind of thing. So it's it's a little like, of course, like I want to face the history and what happened, and also like, but while doing that, of course, I'm gonna state the Japanese side of history, you know. But Koreans somehow, like not all of them nowadays at least are like that. But now that the leader is very anti-Japan and anti-America, really, what's the word? Like they're haunted by the past, and they're just dragging the past while we are looking ahead to the future because we have today's problems. Past is in the past, you know, whether you like it or not, and we have modern problems, and we need to counter that. We have to do something about that to solve them, right? But those people, the leftists in East Asia, they're just talking about the past constantly to ignore what's happening today. Why? Because they are actually the puppets of China and North Korea, who wants to take advantage of such situation. Like they want to just make people blind talking about the past so that they can come, you know, colonize and so on. So we don't need that. It's a good balance. It seems like Donald might be too trusting towards him. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I get it. Recently, though, in Japan, what I hear is that Trump is such a businessman, and I hear that in a negative way because I don't know if it's good or bad, but Trump has this business backgrounds, and he's a real estate guy, you know, and he's really friendly with another real estate guy, right? トランプと仲いい不動産の人って誰だっけ？え？ウィトコフ。ウィトコフ。like real estate guys has their own common sense, you know, like their version of common sense, and so that like it's not, it's different, actually different from political premises, you know. So that that is creating this misunderstanding and different approaches, it seems. And so Japanese people, like whether it's experts or like ordinary citizens, like we talk about that aspect that, oh, Trump is a real estate guy. So yeah, overall, like it's really putting me in a difficult place because I want to, you know, I'm full in with Trump against the, like, I mean, in when it comes to the battle against CCP-led China. But other things are putting me in a difficult place because, of course, our backgrounds are different because we come from different countries. And what's the, yeah, and Japanese people are, I mean, there are some like really, like there are people that are such big fans of Trump in Japan, you know, but at the same time, others are moderate, and they swing back and forth, you know. So yeah, it's really not looking good right now, at least in Japan. That when I, like, for example, like when I go watch the coverage of what happened at the meeting this time, I look through the comments and it's all negative. So like, oh, Trump is this and that, you know, and part of me wants to translate that to you know, for to make it your food for thought, but at the same time, I guess the Americans don't want to read that because it's not fun, right? So I don't know. It's hard for me. Like I want to translate, but I don't know because I'm here to connect the Japan and the US. Find something in common so that we can work together. And I don't want to do the opposite things. So I don't know. I like the Japanese and American perspective of forgiving and moving together as allies. Yeah, it's really special. I think it's because we are special. Yeah, but um, so I am, like I'm an activist too, right? And I do my activities against CCP and Putin-led Russia. Like we are against dictatorships in Eurasia. But oh, well, what I was gonna say, I totally lost a chain of thought. Train of thought? Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I got distracted. Yeah, I'll remember. Kyoko the activist. I'm Yoko. Probably just autocorrect or something. Yeah, yeah. We are Japan and America's relation is really really special. Oh yeah, I was gonna say Soviet Union. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like both, we really like a lot of Japanese conservatives today have the notion that Japan and America didn't have to fight, but it's not the only cause. But as for the World War II, it's not the only cause, but it was true that both Japan and America were influenced by Soviet Union spies to fight each other. So that's a really, really important perspective, I think. And yeah. So today too, like China and Russia, like they both try as much as they can to make that happen again. Like when we form alliance, it's bad for them. So they've been doing that for a long, long time. I'm mostly not a fan of Trump's foreign policy in terms of putting tariffs on countries that are allies and ones we have free trade agreements with are frustrating. Yeah, it is tough for us. As for Japan, like I can only speak about Japan, but like as for Japan, we already had all these premises, economically, and it's kind of ignored. And also, we don't know what's going to happen. The economic premise for us is that it's, of course, like our politicians don't know what they're doing, so it's our problem. But, today we are facing all these threats in the world, whether it's China or Russia or Hamas or is Hamas gone already, or like Middle East situation too, but so Japan needs to stay strong to be the fortress of East Asia, even for America or Europe. It's really important that Japan stays strong, but we've been in recession for decades now. It's because of our politicians, but at the same time, and Shinzo Abe, because of that, he was working on our economy. He did fix some of it with his policy called Abenomics, just like Reaganomics. He took it from there. But Abenomics, buy my Abenomics. And he was doing well, but then power struggles happened in Japan as well. So like Ministry of Finance is powerful in Japan. And then Abe had to raise consumption tax twice. So it used to be 5% and then 8%. And then today it's 10%. And it's of course like when we have to pay more, we don't want to buy more, we want to buy less. So then it affects the economy. And on the top of that, like it was still doing okay. And then COVID-19 happened, and then it, of course, damaged our economy. And then this war, this aggression by Russia happened. It's attack, basically it's damaging our economy as well. So we do want the war to end so that we can be, be economically better. But at the same time, though, like it's like you cannot like it's hard to put priorities on stuff like this, because if we compromise now, then it would affect other things. There will be negative consequences. So yeah, because especially because for Japanese people, we are looking at the threat of China that is expanding. And oh, by the way, Russia, I think they said that they are gonna have like military exercises around northern territories, which they are illegally occupying. Northern territories are Japanese territories. They're illegally occupying, and then on the top of that, they are gonna, or they are, I guess, the period I think is from August to September. They're doing that around northern territories. So crazy. So from the north, Russia is coming. From the south, China is coming. Japan is pretty screwed, and so we need to stand strong. But at least, like, yes, the economic things are very tough for Japan right now. But if America prosper, then we are close to America, though. Hopefully, the damages are temporary, and that we can prosper together. But yeah, because America affects all the countries in the world. So if America is strong, and if we are the close ally, I don't know. I think most Americans have a respect for the Japanese and would still interested in their opinions even if we don't agree. Yeah, I mean, some people are like, we heard it early on, like when the negotiations of tariffs happened, that like, oh, we just have to, we just have to bear like a stand, like try to just stay alive in these 4 years. I heard that somewhere, okay, several times, no, a few times. Yeah. Any super chat? I know that this is so late or so early for Americans. I was so late, but I would appreciate super chat. I need to give you more info maybe so that people will feel like giving me super chat. Let's see. It'll be unfair if Trump didn't put tariffs on all countries. Yeah, like he wanted to make it equal, right? Like no priorities and so on. Yeah. But we just wanted, I was expecting like tough negotiations on China and Russia, but other countries, yeah. I mean, European nations, I kind of blame them. Because like, it's, especially the war in Ukraine, it's their war, for European countries. They're a little too late to what's the word, to prepare. Like, why is Japan doing things? We are giving a lot of money, to Ukraine, and sending all these aids and so on, and we firmly stand with Ukraine. But do you know the location of Japan? It's the totally opposite way, you know. It's European countries like should do to contribute more. Of course, they need to survive economically, so I guess it's their best. But yeah, it's so weird. But Japan, though, like we are doing this, like even sacrificing ourselves to help Ukraine because we expect the same when things go bad here in East Asia, you know, like, hey, we helped you, right? We're gonna say that, like, hey, European countries, like, we helped you, right? But they are doing great though. Like the UK especially is actually doing great with us. That they send their ships and so on to here to show unity, and it's amazing because Japan UK alliance is like it's not like officially alliance, but it's almost alliance. And it really like looking back in history too, like when Japan and the UK are close, things go well. We can fight Russia too. So, yeah. Oh, Brad, thank you so much for super chat. Thank you. Did you see the plan and China Coast Guard ships that collided? Oh yeah, they are incompetent and unprofessional. Like Chinese, is it vessels? Like they went bam, right? Like I haven't, I heard about it. I haven't looked into it. Uh, 中国. What happened recently? Something happened. Like where was that? Where was that? I can't find it. What? How should I look for it? Did I bookmark it? Oh, South Korea. Yeah, South Korea also like their investigation ships are came to Takeshima. Like we have a territorial dispute with South Korea too. And as I said, the president is now anti-Japan, and they want to take Takeshima, our islands, but they threw like a wire-ish thing into the ocean. Let's see, where was that? Does anybody? Philippines. Oh, it wasn't Japan, but two Chinese ships, right? Why is it? I've been busy with editing videos for my husband, and I haven't I haven't had the time to look into the news as much as I used to. So, show to wait. I see. Do I see super chat? Wait. Oh yeah, here it is. I finally found it. So China and Philippines collided. Minami Shinakai? Oh yeah, South China Sea. That's so stupid. Can you believe that Chinese ships just bumping into each other? Super chat, thank you so much. Germany was the biggest portion of the NATO deficit spending. I think it was over half since 2000. They also invest in Russia gas. Yeah, it's always Germany. It's so, isn't it because they were against nuclear power plants or something? Then why don't they just generate in their own country? But probably against the nuclear power plants, right? Yeah, and then get the gas from France, and then I mean not gas, the power generated with nuclear power plants from France, and then get gas from Russia as well. Is my understanding correct? But yeah, it's not seen positively by Japanese people as well. And even the immigration too, the Merkel, she was so bad to welcome those people. But I guess for her though, like she has the experience of the Berlin Wall era, so I can kind of understand her emotions. But what do you think of Sohei Kamiya? I saw a video where he was calling out fake asylum seekers that come to Japan to get free benefits. You don't have to take him seriously. He's a little, he's a little. So he used. I thought he was smarter, but he's not. He doesn't even have common sense. Like I didn't think that he was that stupid. Recently, he's saying like, I don't know. He says like, the recent thing that I heard of him, at least like what we're talking about, is so for those who don't know, Sohei Kamiya is the leader of the new right-wing party, Sanseito. Very nationalistic, but they're not even nationalistic to the majority of Japanese people. They're just dumb. So, but yeah, he says like he wants to issue like digital coupons to people so that it's like it's basically he thinks that it's free because it's digital. It doesn't make sense, you know. Is it like Japanese money or what? You know, like if we like who pays that? Like it does. I don't know. I don't know what goes in his mind. But yeah. So Sohei Kamiya, the leader of Sanseito, used to be in our conservative circle. So like older generations saw him, you know, for a long time. So they tend to support him, thinking that he is still the same conservative figure, but he changed to like, or he just maybe he's just showing his truth self. I don't know, but super. Recently, so August 15th, for example, is the end of the war for us Japanese. You know, that's when our Tenno, like who you call like emperor, broadcasted his voice saying like, "Oh, we are no longer fighting," you know. And then so like a lot of parties issue statements and so on recently. And then his party, Sanseito, said that it's the first time now that the LDP doesn't have the majority in the the parliament and so on. But it's crazy because the Democratic Party in Japan took power for 3 years, you know, before. And LDP wasn't even in power, for example, in that time. And I don't think it's the first time too either. Like other times there was probably cases like that. And they say like, oh, we gotta embrace our history, you know, like be proud of our history and blah, blah, blah. And they don't actually know history. So it's pointed out often. They're just radicals, you know, and lazy thinkers who don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, in a way, they are good because they stimulate the other parties, you know, because at least what they're doing good is to to what's the word, like to, I don't know that verb, like they know what ordinary people are frustrated about, like foreigners and over tourism and so on. Those things are the result, the issues that we have today with foreigners in Japan are the result of economic policies, which are imposed, I mean, not imposed, like pushed by our business people, like business federation. So then, like, those who are in power are going to listen to those people because it's their benefits too. And also, like, you have to work with business people to maintain the economy, so they have to be realistic, and also you have to listen to the business people's requests as well, as politicians in power, right? So they do that, and yeah, so it's like vested interests, kind of, I guess. But probably there's the aspect as well, and also they have to just listen to them, let the foreign workers here and so on, because the reality is really difficult due to birth rate and so on. And then Sanseito, for example, they say that they just pays attention to the people's frustrations, which are not heard from other parties. So then, of course, people are going to like it, but the party's administration is dictatorship, not conservative at all. Like, Kamiya decides everything. It's dictatorship, and yeah. And then their constitution doesn't have equality of rights and so on. It's all, yeah. And one day he was talking about, for example, about what's the word? NISA, like it's called NISA, like just like the UK, we have like investment that works like pension to us, at least for our generation. And he says, like, oh, we can just get the NISA money to make it our income, and it's like nationalize our assets. Like, he doesn't have common sense. Anyway, anything else to talk about? Maybe if the Soviet Union didn't lose so many soldiers, they would be more warm feelings towards the Western world. World history isn't that great, but I think the Allied powers could have helped the Soviet Union on the Eastern Front. What do you mean? Yeah, Soviet Union, like, it's, like, at least people in the West now know the problem of CCP and communists in general, like how Chinese history is full of blood, of their own citizens, and then they are expansionists, so they're colonizing Tibet, Uyghur, like East Turkestan, and southern Mongolia, Hong Kong, even now. And the world is watching that, so that's great. That's such a huge step forward. And next, I hope that the world will see the history of Soviet Union and Russia today, because they completely ignore human rights, and they're just another expansionist country. They are a colonizer today in this modern age. It's only China and Russia, that it's not really only, I don't know the rest of the world, but like the big countries, among the big countries, China and Russia are currently like colonizing. As for Russia too, they are colonizing. Like, it's a federation, but those people don't have human rights, and so, like, so-called ethnic minorities, they're not really minorities because they are the country, but like if you consider Russia as a big Russia, then they are ethnic minorities. But they are sent to the battlefronts of the war against Ukrainians because they are colonized right now. At least that's their recognition. Those people are raising their voice. At least those who are living overseas. There are a few inside Russia too that are raising their voice, and it's amazing because I don't know how they're surviving, but so they want to get independent, but Russia is not allowing that, and instead they are doing ethnic cleansing basically using the war, so that needs to stop. And also, yeah, we need to stop that because Russia will expand. That's their culture. Russian people support that. So, yeah. Falling asleep, have a good day. Oh, you're going to sleep. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Would Japanese be willing to sacrifice soldiers to Ukraine? The premise is not realistic though. Like it doesn't matter we want to or not, like we can't. But there are already Japanese soldiers, like voluntarily. There are some people working, fighting in Ukraine. And some have returned and actively posting on X and so on. So, yeah. Early in the war, some Americans went in their own to fight. Yeah, same for Japan. Japanese people do that too. Any more super chat? I would appreciate super chat. It sounds like Sohei Kamiya could be friends with the anti-NHK party leader. Yeah. I don't know the take of Mr. Tachibana, but Tachibana has problems, like mental problems, often rumored as that. Right now, what Japan is facing is fabrication and misinformation and that sort of things. People are going really, really, like at least in the free speech of political field. The current, like, it's a recent thing over the past, I don't know, few or several years. The people are going really, really radical and also stupid. We are stupefied. Are you stupefied? Yeah. So bad. It's because I think that is part of it is great because Elon Musk bought Twitter, and then brought back freedom, but at the same time, because of that, and it's monetized too. So like people are just using the platform not to spread information, but to earn money. So they do whatever they want because it's free. So it's terrible. And Russia has been taking advantage of that. So their manipulation is clear to Japanese people. So it's really bad. I watched an anti-NHK documentary a few months ago. It was crazy. It's like, I don't know, about the anti-NHK party, it involves like people's death and so on. So like it's really like you gotta be careful with where you're, what you're seeing or what you're talking about. But he's a great, Tachibana, the leader, is great at agitating, and they agitate, like he's a normal guy when you talk to him, but like he just weaponizes social media platform. So of course there are consequences when you do that. Same for other opinion leaders. They're not really opinion leaders, but just like Japanese people, there are some Japanese people just openly lie, you know. I didn't see that, like I didn't expect that our people could be that low. But some people just don't have the culture of embarrassment anymore. The like Japanese people, what's good about us is that we don't want to get humiliated, or we don't want to get embarrassed in public. You know, we want to be, we have the pride to be a good, responsible adult in public, even children. That's our, like we have had our morality in a good way, but not anymore. So many posts on X are clearly fake engagement farming. Yeah, because these people are trying to make money. It's annoying. Yeah, seriously. But then, yeah, maybe maybe the monetization should stop so that everything will stop. Some people do complain, saying that like a political field, you know, like politicians and so on, like opinion leaders and so on, like they should be demonetized to make it better, you know, make the place better. Like it's serious. Some people do seriously say that because it's really the cause of all of this. Yeah, it's interesting how, like, when you try to spread your wings, like people go lower. You know, the discussions in political field that I see every day on X is really really low. Like this person said this and that, and what this person said is actually like crazy fantasy and so on. So like we have to deal with that every day, and it's affecting my good heart. You know, it's terrible. It's really bad for your mentality. But sometimes dark Yoko needs to come out. Yes, exactly. I actually decided to make another channel, Japanese channel, which I recently launched. I decided to make that channel because of this. At that time, there's this woman named Moe Fukada. Even her name is fake because she used to be like a stock market idol or something like that. But anyway, she keeps attacking our conservative politicians, saying that they're what, I don't know, like I don't know her rhetoric actually, but maybe calling them as spies or something. But yeah, it's horrible that she makes stuff up, and then I don't know how she does it, but like she is like she's obviously lying, but she pretends that she's telling the truth, and I don't know how she does that. Like my good conscience would never allow me to do stuff like that, but she does that. And there are many like older men who just like younger women, and they support her, and her books get sold well. And yeah, and also like people without common sense, you know, like low educated, like not those who are not educated well, they don't have the common understanding of things. So like when they're told something with like really loud voice, then they just listens, you know, like open their heart and just get manipulated easily. So then I realized like, oh, number is power, and I used to have power, but I just took it for granted and didn't work on it. So like other people started to have views, and I'm like, you know, I was just left behind. And I realized like, oh, I need to work on my numbers, you know, or at least like have my own crowd of people, so that at least we share common sense, you know, against those people. There are two other conservative, not conservative, but somehow they are on the conservative side. Two other very crazy Japanese females in our community. and they've got like a big number too, but they always spread fake news and so on. So so like considering them as well, like I need to at least like, especially as a woman, like those are somehow all women, so I'm like I have to keep the female status, like for the rest of like females with common sense. I'm like, yeah. But academic people, for example, they are okay, of course, like they are professionals. But like these like conservative opinion leader type of people or YouTubers, they tend to be crazy for numbers, so or money. So yeah. Super chat, please, super chat. I need to make my money. So crazy world. It used to be that if you make efforts in the right way, you get money and status, but now it's not that case. Yeah, but did you know about Dark Brandon? It was crazy that some libs videos gave credit to Biden for Abe's death. What? What is that? Dark Brandon? I know Brandon that people were talking about, but Dark Brandon? Americans used to be rated as very honest back in the 50s and 60s, but tons of people lie for gain now. Yeah, I think it's like spreading to here because we are using the same platform. And then there are people who copy what Americans are doing. So even in politics, Sanseto Kamiya is just copying Trump, and it doesn't work here because we are a different country, It's ironic that such a patriotic somebody who is supposed to be patriotic, he's actually importing the ideology from another country and labeling it as patriotism. And he's anti-globalism, but it's apparent that he wants to have good ties with Trump, which is another country, so silly. Do you have a Patreon, Yoko? That might be a nice way to keep like-minded people together. Yeah, I do have a Patreon account, and some people actually support me there, but I haven't been active there. I should do more. I do have a membership system here on YouTube as well, but I haven't activated it because I don't know what to do. Do you want to see, like, I was thinking like maybe open the membership thing as like a few dollars, and then I can translate the stuff that you don't want to see. Just to show you like where Japan stands, like what Japanese people are actually saying, and but we don't necessarily have to spread it, that sort of things. Maybe I can use membership for. My throat hurts. I'm speaking for 88 minutes now, and then the air conditioner wind is coming directly at me, so like I'm super dry. But by the way, there seems to be a new kind of cold like a disease happening, for example in Taiwan. I haven't gathered information yet, so I don't know, but according to what I saw, it said like, oh, your throat is gonna hurt so much, like you are swallowing like a blade, razor. Oh, super chat, thank you so much. Yoko Tax, yes, thank you so much. Throat COVID. Yeah, your hair looks nice. Yoko, thank you. I need to get it straightened. I need to dye my hair too. I have a lot of gray hair now. It's not somehow showing on camera, but I'm lady. Yoko like the meeting. Can't really say. Yeah, I did talk about it, but at the very beginning, I didn't. I don't know. It's not the worst. We the meeting could have gone way worse, but it didn't. But then Putin. As for Putin, it was good. I mean, it was good for Putin because he is avoiding the secondary tariffs, and also he was able to meet Trump. And then towards the end, they were saying that, like Putin said in English, like maybe next time in Moscow or something like that. And then Trump was like, maybe like it's a possibility kind of thing. He said that. So like, even though Putin is, there's a warrant for him internationally, he was able to show the credibility using Trump, that he can go back and forth between America and Russia and so on. So that's a plus for him. And there was no achievement though, like the agreement. So that was good. Yeah. Meeting went fine. They liked and respected each other. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay not to like it. Everybody has different opinion. Yeah. Yes. I think it's really important that we just know what other people are thinking, or people in other countries are thinking. Like, we don't have to. Like, we live in this world where we have to judge everything, like you scroll and then, do you like the post? Okay, yes. Do you dislike it? Dislike it. Like, you're constantly scrolling and judging others, right? Others' opinions, but you don't have to do that actually. And we can just see what people are saying to see where you stand and where they stand, so that you can think about how to, how to, what's the word, handle it, or think of the treatment and so on. So yeah. Ooh, a lot of coverage though. I haven't. Should I read it? Ooh, front page. Yeah. So yeah, maybe like translation. Like I can just use like AI to translate. So it doesn't take much time. I just need to find the right one. It's, like interesting posts and so on. Then translate and check if the translation is correct. So that's something that I could do, like with membership and so on. But I don't know. But like, it's difficult. What's difficult for me is that, like, some American people or people in the world, that they just wanna, they like, especially MAGA people want to be praised. Like, who wouldn't like that, right? And they're not really, there are some people who are not really interested in Japan necessarily, that they just like me for supporting Trump. And there are others who are interested in Japan. So I don't know where to focus. Maybe, but I should probably focus on Japan. This is a picture for those who came on later. Baseball. What is that? Oh, Mr. Baseball. Nagashima died recently, so these are famous baseball players playing for him. The column includes this Richard Harth? I don't know the pronunciation. Hello, Richard. It's a column talking about Trump administration, and I haven't read it. America's involvement in other countries, it's less proactive. I should read that later. Ooh. That's how I feel. Peace is not something we should take for granted. Many evil people out there want war, and we need to stand our ground for peace. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just like, I just like having people to talk to. That's great. That's what we need for the world peace. Yeah, it's communication is everything. Seriously. Like once you know, like even if you don't like somebody and you actually hear the background of them, and then you realize like, oh, they have their own perspective and you can relate to them afterwards. But yeah, but the problem that we have in Japan though, it's probably the same for other countries, like Western nations as well. But like this season for Japan is like war season, you know, like on August 15th, as I said, is the end of the World War II for Japanese people, mentally speaking. So we talk about, and also like atomic bombs were dropped on the 6th and the 9th. So we talk a lot about the World War II this month, August. But liberal people though, like they say like, oh, we need to carry on with like we need to make sure that we tell the stories that the war survivors were talking about to later generations and so on. But they just pile up their fantasy instead of actually looking into the documents and so on, you know. They just like seriously they do like they perform plays and so on, or create some kind of movies and so on. It's like creative works and fantasy instead of like conservative people though, like they're still like war survivors, so like they go get interviews and so on. So like I'm like, what are they doing? And then liberal people always say like, oh, we need to talk to each other more, and we need to make sure that, you know, we talk about wars and how horrible it was and blah, 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 blah. And they never talk about America at the time or Soviet Union and whatsoever. They're always talking about the war. And it's as if like, even though war is, you know, it's a method, right? Like it's a tool. War is a tool to get something, right? There's some goal that you are gonna take, so you can't do it diplomatically, so you start the war, right? But some Japanese people, like liberals, they somehow believe that they are fighting against the war. But that's a tactic though. I'm like, what are you fighting against, you know? So like they say like, oh, we don't want wars, and then if that's the case, we need to look into what China is doing or Russia is doing, right? That's how you prevent the war in the future. And instead of that, they're like, oh, war was horrible, oh, peace, world peace. I'm like, are you stupid? They probably are. Really, I don't know what to say to them. Like, enjoy your life, you know. Yeah. Oh, my husband is back from another hunting. He always bring rice to the table. Instead of bread, we have to say rice probably. Looking hot. Not in the hot, but temperature hot. He's not gonna get it. War decides everything in this world. I assume Japan got a new U.S. ambassador when Trump got in. Is the new ambassador good to America? I have no idea. I know this guy that is dispatched to the UK though. He's doing so great with Paddington. You should follow him, by the way. I have no idea about 駐米日本大使。これ Is it this guy? I should know more. I should know more. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We don't. Yeah. Ambassadors are kind of not in the picture when we talk about politics for some reason. Unless like there are meetings or something, probably. Yeah. Anyway, did you have fun at the zoo? Yes, it was so fun. If you come to Fukuoka, visit the zoo. It's of course like we have a limited land, but they keep having like renewals, you know. So their exhibition is way better than before. Zoo is kind of cruel though. Like part of me enjoys it. Another part of me is like, oh, poor animals to be surrounded by the cage, you know. But at the same time, at least they have to go through the food chain and they are fed every day though. But I don't know. But as a human, I enjoy that. Yes. So, did they have shoe bills? No, unfortunately. We were gonna write, like they usually have like a survey paper, you know, that you can fill in to write down your requests. And we were saying like, oh, we need to write down shoe bill stork, but we forgot because we were tired at the end, and we didn't see any paper there. But yeah, like when we visited the one in Tokyo, Ueno Zoo, they have shoebill storks, plural. There's a few or several shoebill storks. So we saw one. It was so cute. Oh, so cute. Such a dinosaur-looking, cool animal. Yeah, I like fluffy animals. Acknowledge past history but focus on the current conflicts. Yes. Can your husband say hello? Hello, husband. Husband, son. He's in another room. Anytime now. He's in another room, like he's somewhere. He's going somewhere. I'm gonna make him say hello. Except they don't want to talk to Putin. Being Greek, I'm proud of our Greek-Japanese writer, Lafcadio Hearn. Koizumi Yakumo. Yakumo sounds familiar. I usually feel bad for the elephants. I always think they are sad. Isn't that prejudice? I mean, yeah. Elephants, yeah, they do look sad, yeah. They're so slow and kind of, like, they look tired for some reason. Maybe because they are slow. But, yeah. I don't like elephants and dolphins much, probably because they don't have hair. Yeah. It's kind of weird to me, but many people do not like reptiles, for example, but I like reptiles though. I don't know why reptiles are okay and those elephants and dolphins kind of creeping out. super chat, super chat. No more. I should probably go. It's past 6 and it's really late or early on your end. Is Junichiro Koizumi's son any good as a politician? In a way, yes. But he's not a good debater. Plus, he's a little liberal. So, but he looks great, and youthful, and he has this positive vibe. And also, he doesn't. His commentary can be really really dumb, and that's why he's often made fun of. But he's he's very experienced. Like he's experienced minister's position for I don't know how many times, but yeah, and he and also like he doesn't go out of line of LDP, so he's not crazy or anything. He's experienced. He has common sense. He lacks a bit of common sense in a way because like he tries to avoid troubles and then form a sentence. So often he sounds like Kamala Harris, for example. That sometimes it's gibberish. But yeah, but he's not a conservative guy or anything. But if he has like a conservative brains around him, he'll be great. So I don't know. I really can't judge him. Oh, super chat. Thank you so much again. Yes. Mongolian leprechaun surferman from Saturn. Thank you. Thank you, always. Hello, Yoko. Have you ever watched Leah Fit and Asari? They are mother and daughter Japanese American VTuber duo that talk about politics and play video games. That sounds awesome. I definitely think you would like their opinions about politics. Yeah, it's if the person is Japanese American, probably. I mean, mother and daughter. That sounds fun. Yeah. You recommended me a channel last week as well, right? Thank you so much. I should. I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, it's my first time seeing that. Now I see. Cool. I wonder why it's like. Is it like mother and daughter do this? That's cool. That's cool. Speaking super fast. Let's hope that I can understand. Thank you so much though for your recommendation and your super chat. It really helps my channel. Thank you so much. I'll check them out. I love platypus. I'm a platypus. Do you know that song? I'm a platypus. That's so cute. The platypus song. Super cute. Oh, you're a platypus, I see. Look at the European parliaments. They act like two. I've seen like the UK parliament before, like some random parliament footage, and it's interesting how they're like, it looks like a small place, and they're like, they're just sitting like packed, and they're sitting together very closely, like, and it's so cute, and it looks more relaxed that way. Like Japanese parliament is so serious, and I mean there are jokes here and there, but like it's so, I don't know, like severe, like very strict atmosphere. I think it's an Asian thing. And I wish that our people were more relaxed, you know, like our culture is super duper strict. So yeah, but our politicians yell all the time, you know, and it does become like a zoo. Yeah, I think like is it South Korea? Like other Asian countries sometimes have like a really like crazy fight. There was a time that like Japanese politicians were a bit aggressive too, and I think it's maybe we need like that kind of passion though nowadays, because it's everything is like people are used to politics now, and they're not passionate as much. Let's see. Hey, husband.
What?
Say hello.
Hi.
He said hi. Let's see, let's see. Elephants, manatees, beluga whales. Yeah. I like the patterned whales, but that's it. I don't like, I don't know, like whales are scary. What is the beluga? In the, not whale. mixed it up like beluga elephant. Like there's no such thing. What is this? That's scary. Scary. That is so scary to me. I like iguana, for example. Iguana. Where did I see iguana-chan? Yeah. I met this little guy yesterday. I love reptiles. So cute, right? But then my husband is like, but I'm like, huh? So cute. I like this, but I don't like this stuff like this. Maybe if I see in person, it's okay, maybe. But the surface is like, I probably do not like smooth. Is it like sleek, glossy? Smooth surface, probably. Shoebills aren't scary, but belugas are, yeah. What? Shoebill storks are like the cool eyes and big this, like this. They create crazy sound. Super cool. Lizard skins make good cowboy boots. No! poor lizards. But I can get it though. The patterns are amazing. But then after seeing reptiles for a while, and if you look at your skin surface, you realize like your skin is actually like detailed too. You know, like it has all the lines here, and then it changes around there, and it's fun. And it's kind of scary when you think about it. Like we could have been like that too, you know, depending on how we evolved. Or I don't know, maybe you don't believe in evolution, but we have all the lines. It's just exaggerated with reptiles and so on, because we are so humid, like, you know, moisture. We have moisture. Man, there was a guy, like my friend, one of my friends in the past didn't like the word moisture for some reason. I don't know why. Just remembered. Pilot whales are scary. Ooh. Well, speaking of whales, which was that series? Oh, the James Cameron? the what's the blue thing? I forgot the title. The Avatar. Avatar, the latest one included like whales, right? Like they're very they have they're they're intellectual and I don't know why my husband is reacting in English. He was like, "Wow," in English. He's influenced easily. But yeah, there was a scene including like a big whale, you know, and then like there was this Asian character, probably meant as Japanese people, you know, like atrocious against the whales, and it was so frustrating because Japan is not like that, you know. We just control the number in the nature, you know. And then when we do eat whales and so on, because we don't want to leave anything behind, you know. Just we thank the whale, like all of it, and do not abandon anything. But then people like James Cameron, they just judge us with our impression. I was rooting for the Space Marine in Avatar. Space Marine? Oh yeah. Because it was a bottle. Bless you, bless you. He sneezes like that. Like you heard it, right? Probably from this microphone. He sneezes. My husband sneezes like in public every time. I try to be a stranger when that happens, you know, every time. I'm like, no, I'm not with him. So embarrassing. From the top of his lungs. I don't get it. Like, what? Like, we could just, right? I do it like just many times so that I don't have to go loud. He's so loud. When he coughs too, like when I cough, I'm like, right? When my husband coughs, it's like, in public. I'm like, please stop. Like, you don't have to scream to the world, you know, that you are there. Seems I'm like, yes, you are, but I was late too. But I've been speaking for a long time though. I love the way you say reptile. Reptile. What? Reptile? I don't know how to say that. I gotta get better at the English.
Reptiles.
Reptiles. Okay. I learned it.
Reptiles.
Reptiles. So cute. Super cute. But I probably don't want to see them eating like crickets and so on though. Look up Japanese dolphin harvest. It's not nice. Yeah, because it's like there. It's probably the environment and the number. You know, like do I support them? No, but I just thought I don't want like what's the word? They're like pirates, like environment pirates are there. You know, like a terrorist environment. Terrorists are there, like what's it called? A shepherd. There are terrorists. So, and they say like, oh, Japan is bad, and then they attack us to get money while we are doing everything under control. So yeah. Japanese people are like, then why did people in the past, you know, use whales, for example, for oil and then just abandoned everything, you know, and Also, yeah, like pigs and cows and all the animals are, you know, they're atrociously killed every day for consumption. So you can't really compare. He doesn't have his father's hairstyle either. Interesting, I will look into that channel, but Ryoko will always be number one. Yay! Thank you. Alberta want to break away from Canada and they have big plans to work directly with Japan. I'm so impressed by your art back there. You really could sell that for good money in my opinion. Thank you so much. Like I think like big art like this would be great for my style, but if I make like such a big art, could I send it overseas, like how much would it cost? But maybe rich people like art, so maybe they can. They will just buy. One day I want to have my own exhibition though somewhere. I don't know where, but that'll be cool, right? I have a lot of my own drawings. I have sold some in the past, but a bunch of them are still with me, so yeah. They make gun sounds. Yeah, it should be stored. Avatar. Happy Janmashtami. It is the Hindu god Krishna's birthday today. Ooh, happy birthday. I had to hide a sneeze in the movie theater the other day. It was tough. You go like with this, right? Americans, when Americans sneeze, I notice that they do this, Japanese people do this. But probably works in Japan because we don't shake hands. We do nowadays, but still like it's not really common. Like it's common in workplaces, but still like in politics it's common. But probably in business field we just bow, so we don't touch each other. So we just go good. But then it's like germs, and then you touch things, right? Trains and so on. So whenever I go ride the train, go on a train, I stand still without touching anything. I'm always like balancing like, ooh, ooh. I'm like too proud to touch anything. I'm like, that's why I do Pilates. I'm like not falling, I'm not gonna touch anything. I do have a sanitizer though with me all the time. So yeah, even if I don't touch anything, I feel like I touched something, so I always sanitize my hands. Yeah, but it's interesting because my husband sneezes a lot and so on, and touch his face, and then I hold his hand. But I probably my immune system is okay with him now. Once saw a deer sneeze several times when a JP online friend visited. What? Reptile. Reptile. Have you seen South Park episode about Japan and whales and dolphins? No. That sounds scary. Their take is probably scary. I think Japanese should limit whale hunting to some time period per year, like hunting season for wild animals. I don't know, like they're doing the calculation, so you gotta sell it to a rich person to put it in their house, right? Yeah, like when I have this behind me, I feel powerful. So probably, this is like a flame kind of. So you can probably, light up or like give you energy. So yeah. I gotta do it more. I need a good canvas. Yep, 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 yep. Like when I watch American TV shows, like yeah, like and when there is some rich character, they usually have like cool abstract art. So I'm like I always look at the details of every scene, you know, like how what kind of places they live in and what kind of stuff or objects they put behind and so on. I like analyzing those to which are creating the atmosphere. So yeah, and I often notice good art and I'm like, oh, I could do that, right? Oh, super chat, thank you so much. Greetings from Musashi Sakai. Am I reading it right? Sounds like Tokyo, or where is that? I live in Fukuoka, so I'm not too familiar with other places. Thank you so much for a super chat. It's in yen. Cool, cool, cool. Dolphins are good. I ate some while I visit Katsurania, Wakayama. Wow. I've never had dolphin. I haven't never had whales either, but I see they sell whales though sometimes. Are they still calling dolphins in Japan? In ancient Greece, you used to get the death penalty for killing a dolphin. Yeah, different environment here. Oh, speaking of animals and hunting, we have more bears now in Japan, and like the bears in Japan have learned the taste of humans now, so more humans are getting attacked here, and it's a social problem now in the north. In West Japan, they don't live, in the wild, only in the northern part, but they're coming down. They're learning, so at first it began with like their foods not being raised as much as it should, so then they would come to the garbage can of the local people and so on, but then like they realized that they are good food. Like one of the bears actually attacked like cows, the like those cows for, I don't know if it was for milk or the meat itself, but so like in countryside, of course, like they have like a lot of cows or whatever you call it, and so bears found them, right, and they just attacked the cows and ate. Of course, it tastes good, so like, and then but then we collect the hair and so on of the bear and look into the data of DNA, so we can tell if it's the same bear when it comes back and so on. So like I think that's the one that we ate, the bear. Yeah, because there are some places in Japan that like the unique restaurants where they serve a little different kind of meat, like deer and rabbits and or what's the is it raccoon? Yeah, like the stuff that we don't usually eat. Like they serve the meat, so like there's some kind of demand there. So that bear was served, and other cases like the same the bear that attacked somebody before came back to attack another. So yeah, we got rid of it. So we gotta do stuff like that, living with the nature. So same for sea animals too. Like we don't want too many. But it's crazy because you can't compare animals' lives, because they say now that, oh, octopus is so smart that you shouldn't eat. But then we are eating a bunch of meat every day. Like, why do you have to compare, just don't eat meat then, you know? Oh, super, I mean, not super, thanks. Super chat, thank you so much. Are you a fan of Miyamoto Musashi? Yeah, in a way. I mean, I used to do kendo. So, such a legendary. Yeah. I don't know too much though, but I just know that they fought against, is it Sasaki Kojiro? 巌流島、うん、なんか北九州にあるよね、県みたいなレプリカみたいな、なんかいやなんか展示を見た前だから巌流島があるからうん Like when I visited the castle in Kitakyushu, there was a sword. I don't know if it was a replica or not, but yeah, that castle is kind of cool. Like it's compact, but it's beautifully done. Dobby looks tasty. Oh no. Feed the bears some immigrants. That's so cruel. My husband is making a mess, preparing meal, prepping a meal for us. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe they will learn the different tasting humans. It's unpleasant enough people have to eat animals. Maybe treat them a little nice first. Yeah. Beers back in the menu, yeah. I mean, like, locally too, like, so I live in Fukuoka, and if you go to the city, there's the place, GBA place. Yeah, so my husband did want to eat bear. My husband has some fantasy over eating meat, you know, like how some, what's, なんかね、なんだっけ、あなたが好きな北欧のなんていうんだっけ、人たちを。Vikings. He likes Vikings and that sort of culture, you know, really masculine and would eat me like, right? Like he likes that sort of stuff and he wants to do that. Such a boy. So like, yeah, so like, yeah, but he, like, I grew up eating a lot of fish and fruits. Those were my favorite, you know, or some root veggies like potatoes and carrots and that sort of things, instead of leafy things, you know. But then after I got married with him, especially, like he took me to a bunch of meat places, and he wants to eat meat, so he just buys meat. So we are eating meat like every day, and now when I look at like the barbecue of America, I'm like, oh, I want to taste that. I want to have American like real food. That'd be cool. Yeah. Even rabbit will come if you call it poor food creature. Yeah. I mean, pigs are smart, you know. Pigs. I watched the Schwarzenegger's Huber, the series Huber recently, and then I forgot from when, but one of the characters started to have a pig as his pet or buddy. And it was like as much as it was cute, I'm like I have mixed feelings, and it was tough to watch it because I'm like, oh, I'm eating that often. Yeah, like some things you shouldn't see, right? Like we are very what's like we eat other lives every day. That's why I believe in Shinto. We just in Shinto every time before we eat, we do this to pray for the sacrifices. Like thanks for being our foods, basically, for the lives to be given to us, and for that you like Christians thank the God and so on, right? But we just thank the sacrifices. It's cruel, but yeah, we need to live. So, what's he making? I have no idea. Like when my husband cooks, it's like I hear a lot of noises, which doesn't happen with me. So I don't know what's going on. Your husband is so cool. Thank you. He looks so. He's like. He likes to be complimented. I know. He says I know. I know coming from Star Wars. I know my husband well. Recently, I can tell what he's thinking. The other day, he was like behind this. There's his classical CD collection. There's so many, and a player behind this. But the other day, he was looking like sitting here. He was going through and deciding the music, and then I started singing like dun 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 dun, and then he's like, "How did you know?" And then the same day, something happened to, what was it? Oh, he was like, in the evening, he was like looking at his phone, like, oh, today is, he said that. And then I'm like, oh, you're talking about Yoshiko Sakurai's show, Genron TV. Like, who's the guest, right? And he's like, how did you know? I know because I'm his wife. I know his pattern. It's crazy, like intelligence, I would make a great agent for intelligence. A lot of patterns of my husband installed here in my brain. Yeah. Do you have blood-based foods in Japan? What is that? Like just blood? Some people have like blood, right? Not here. I do eat livers, though, like chicken liver, liver. Yeah. My uncle had a pig. I asked my dad about it. Apparently, pigs ejaculate a lot, so he got rid of it. Oh, pork is tasty, but it can taste of game. Yeah. Does your husband cook better than you? Depends. He boils eggs better than I do. When he egg stuff, he's better than me because when I cook, I season well and so on, and I do it like a like a chemistry kind of things. Like I calculate basically. So what happens? Like, oh, if I put like some alcohol, then it's gonna get softened and so on. And I do that sort of a little trick, But like I don't even measure things, and I just put things with my hunch. And my husband though, like he's more, I don't know, more does this in a smart way, I guess, or I don't know. And he uses the pan very well. Yeah. Taro little brother hasn't made a YouTube video in a long time. He give up? Yeah, I mean he's living with my parents, so my dad sends me his pictures every day now though, especially after he changed his phone. Man, I've been speaking for such a long time. Ooh, I'm looking at the angel number right now. It says 33 people watching, 33 likes. 333! I should probably go, right? Oh man, I've been speaking for over 2 hours. Yeah. It's fun talking to you, but I should go. Yes. Salmon sushi is from Norway. Ooh. The word Viking is assumed from Vika in Oslo. Cool. Isn't it interesting that North European people came down and they are like the offspring of everyone there? Isn't it? Aren't they the start? I don't know. I don't actually know the European history. So, at school we had to make food from blood. What? I put blender on to high speed blood everywhere. Dude, that's so like, that's so wild. Huh, interesting. I mean, we do have like cooking class in elementary school. I don't know if they still do, probably do. But yeah, no, the regular Japanese cooking, so no, we don't use blood. Yeah, but it's really nutritious though, I guess. That's why I have never. Oh, it's actually lever. Lever. Huh. I thought it's like liver. Eh? Oh, you mean それは liver だよね。Liver. I put lever like in Japanese and then it thought the lever. I'm not, like not that one. Liver. Yeah. Anyway, getting dark and getting dark here means that the sun is going on to your side, so I should go. It's like the light is massive now because it's darker now. Yeah. You cooked ear, eggs, caucasus mountains in the start of every tribe. Yeah, cool. Go. No, I gotta go. Leber is German. I'll bite too, right? I'll bite. We say part-time job, arbeito. Arbeit. And yeah, many words. I think there were some other German words too. I can't remember. Anyway, stay. No, gotta go. Oh. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay. We say our bait as work. Ooh, similar. Zubon. Eh? Zubon? Is Zubon German? Yeah. now I'm gonna be curious of like what kind of German words we have in Japanese. No, you stay. No. But no walking for me today. I can't go out because it's like 7 now. 7 p.m. You know, it's said that Japan is a really safe country, but women should not walk outside after, what's the word? Sunset. Yeah. I don't go out at night at all now. Yesterday was special because we were at the zoo, but unless I'm with my husband, I never walk alone. It's important. Okay, thank you. It's so awesome that you guys are from like other places of the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, Inform us next time. I'll try to be professional. Okay. I'll at least make the efforts. Okay. Bye from Ohio. Ohio. Thank you guys. And thank you for those who gave me super chat too. Special thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Have a good day or night. Huh? You might run into bad tourists. Not many tourists here though. But thank you for your concern and everything. Okay.